glad you're all here. This is day number 349. And my name is Jordan Alveas. I've been documenting my journey for the last 349 days here on YouTube. And since day number 170 also on dayNumber. And basically been documenting what I've been building, which is a platform and a network for early stage founders to basically document their journey daily and to help them to turn their journey, their early days of building that are usually invisible, make them visible, and then also make them queryable, meaning you can actually get the context and use the data, your own information for your own feedback, and for others to also ask it as well. And then also investable, and that's what I'm working on right now is raising a fund. And usually what I talk about is what happened the day before and also what happened today, or what's going to happen today. So yeah, yesterday I got a chance to speak to a founder that I got in touch with on LinkedIn, and he's out in Africa, Tunisia. He's building something called Agenti, and essentially it's to help connect all the apps that you usually use into one seamless integration, right? So he's been working on that. We ended up talking about how he's looking for a job, and I said, okay, well, what do you need to break even? He's like, oh, it's like 1,000 US. I'm like, oh, bro, that's all you need to. That's like one sale of a client. And lately, I've been looking to see to raise some money to actually help businesses organize their data and folder structures, so that any AI, if you point it to it, it'll understand the company completely, contextually, and you can use your existing model that you use for AI and actually be able to do something with your your data and your company data and make it more efficient, more powerful, save you time, save you money, or make more money. Hi. Morning. Come on, Max. Come on. Maxie boy. Oh, silly boy. Come on. What's going on, everyone? Yeah, so anyways, yesterday I said, look, why don't you generate the sales? I'm like, yeah, or why don't you go sell some people out in the States? He's like, well, when people call from Africa or whatever number, it's sketchy, so it's hard to make US dollars. So I said, look, you just generate the leads, I'll close the sales, and we'll go 50-50. So we'll see what comes out of it. And then yeah, so today I'm gonna continue the reach out. But one of the things that I listened to yesterday that got me to the topic of today is how to think. And a lot of great companies, the companies that stood the test of time, like Apple, Google, Microsoft, NVIDIA, all these great companies, they thought in decades, how, instead of thinking of oh, what's the next new thing, how am I going to make money? You have to think that way, and at the same time also think in decades. Think on where's this company going to be 10 years from now, right? Okay, we got some people. Iconic Forever says hi. Craig Boas is crying. Iconic Forever says, oh, I'm not. Tai Soul says hi. Iconic says hello. What's up? Welcome. We got Matt here. This beautiful sunny day. So yeah, the guy, what's his name? David Senra. He has this podcast called Founders Podcast, and he usually reads books about founders who have stood the test of time. Has been around for decades, right? And that's the thing. I'm reading Steve Jobs' biography right now, and man, look, Apple's one of the most valuable companies right now, and it stood the test of time. It's been around since the 1976, so officially 50 years now, right? So the one thing that I was reading is like Steve Jobs wanted Apple to be a whole integrated system, from like end to end, controlling every part of it. And that's what every great company has done as well, is they created their own ecosystem. They created their own, way to control the user experience, because that's ultimately what it was about. It was about the user experience, to make it the best. And if you relied on other people to, on certain parts of the business that are part of the experience, then it can also, and it's associated with you or your product, then it's going to be hard to make it like the best experience, a 10 out of 10 experience. So that's what will actually last decades, right? Iconic Forever says, oh, he's so cute. Thank you. What's everybody up to on this Saturday today? What's everybody up to? Where are you guys all tuning in from? Where's everybody tuning in from today? Where are we all in this world? I'm in Canada myself, in Hamilton, Ontario. Yeah, today, also aside from like work and stuff like that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be headed to a rodeo event. Basically, it's like a charity event to help a child smile. Basically, it's for help out kids that are getting care through a children's hospital here in Hamilton. And yeah, there's gonna be like bull riders, stunt motorcycle artists. It's gonna be fun. Where's everyone tuning in from today? Max, you wanna say hi again? Maxie boy. Yeah, it's quite. So yeah, and I'm thinking about, like, as I'm building my company, what I'm doing, yeah, like, where is it gonna be 10 years from now? Because really what I'm helping people do is, to help them fulfill their mission with what they're building. X3 Dit says, Max. It says hi. Hey, what's up? Welcome. So that's essentially what I'm looking to help people do is, if you have a vision, or you're passionate about a certain problem in this world that you want to solve, and you find that, technology, like using technology or building a company, is the way you're going to solve it, then I'd love to support you to fulfill that mission. Because one thing I've seen with Jobs is that he's seen a problem. Just like I'm reading the part where they launched iTunes, and he had to make a deal with, and at the time when he launched iTunes, he felt like he was behind in the music industry, because so many people were like, burning CDs, downloading music, all that kind of stuff. And I remember that time, actually. And there was like, and then you could download music for free on like these like Napster or Kazaa, or I remember BearShare. This was back like 2002, 2003. And yeah, Jobs had to come up with a way where it's like, okay, you know what? He doesn't like the fact that artists are losing out on money. He wants to like kind of like help with the piracy and everything. So he had to align the music industry, like the distributors, to say, hey, distribute on our platform, and we'll charge 99 cents per song. And there was a lot of complications to that, because people didn't want to break up albums, all that kind of stuff. There was like different reasons why they didn't want to come in. So he offered them 70 cents of every song that was sold on his platform. And he ended up stringing together the biggest distributors to get onto Apple iTunes Store. And in 6 days, they sold 1 million songs. In 6 days. That's crazy. And I think after a few years, 3 years, they sold 1 billion songs on the iTunes Store. James McEwen says, yo, hey, what's up? Welcome. So the thing is with Jobs, he had to do whatever it took to like convince like these big heads of executives of like big companies, to actually agree to this deal. And Jobs at that time, he already had his ways to, persuade people. He knew how to sell. and he also was very passionate about it as well, and that's what got him to sell. So if you are passionate about something, lean into that, and that's usually what naturally allows you to sell, and that's what got people entranced into his what they call reality distortion field, because he was naturally passionate about the thing that he was focused on creating, right? So, and it's hard to compete with somebody who's way more intensely passionate about that thing than another person. Even Sony and Microsoft try to come out with like, Me Too's of, the iPod and, iTunes and all that kind of stuff, but they couldn't compete, now, and then it morphed into, a few years later, 4 years later, after the iPod, guess what? The iPhone came out, and then boom, that changed everything. People were like, nah, who's gonna want to use that kind of phone with like no keypad, And now it's like every phone has no keypad. Like there's probably the only phones that have a keypad are like the flip phones, like the old ones, you know. James McEwen, do you remember me? I think so. I think I remember. Yeah, I do remember that name. Yes, I do remember. Welcome back, man. It's been a while. It's been a minute. What are you guys up to today? What are you guys all up to today? Wow, it's nice and sunny today. Yeah, I'm supposed to go to an event. It's like an hour drive from me. It's a charity event. There's going to be bull riders. What do you call it? Saddle bronc, motocross, professional stunt bike artists. It's going to be it's called like the Great Rodeo or Bulls and Bikes Rodeo event. Not much. That's what James McEwen says. But yeah, guys, find something that you're passionate about. Find something that you can actually be fascinated with. Whatever fascinates you. Because if you think about the word fascinate, to fasten something is to basically, hold on to, and so it holds your attention, right? So what holds your attention, other than something that actually fascinates you, not like doom scrolling attention. That's like mindless. I'm talking about creative attention, right? Things that allow you to express your actually creative force that's actually present right now, right? If you have whatever that is, lean into it, because that will allow you. You don't even have to learn sales, right? Sales and distribution come from the commitment and the passion driven behind the product or service that you're creating, right? You'll do whatever it takes to get, and that's what I seen. And I'm like 500 pages in on my iBook app with Steve Jobs biography. It's like a 950-page book on I don't know how it is, probably like 400 pages in a regular book. Yeah, more than halfway through it, and that's what Jobs did. It wasn't so much that he was like a genius in terms of like the mechanism of how they got to the distribution levels and sales levels they got to. It was more of like he wanted to create something, which was a solution for a problem that was in the market that he was really passionate about, and he did whatever it took to dominate. Because he knew that his was the best idea, and it was like, why should the end customer experience something subpar than something actually great? Now that I hold the iPhone, it's like, man, like I have so much more respect for it. Even though Jobs wasn't on this, it still has his principles behind it. And even the way that they structured a company, it was like, Tim Cook said, like, we don't have like divisions. Even that word is ominous, right? Meaning it's threatening, like divisions, right? They have one company with separate departments contributing to one P&L, right? So if you have one P&L and not like separate departments with different P&Ls, then everybody's unified to drive that to be the best, right? Yeah, I am. I'm walking out. Look, Maxi boy. Yeah. All right, guys. I am gonna head in shortly, but shout out to everybody here. James McEwen, X3 Dits, iconic forever. I'm not Tysel, Craig Brown, bonus. thank you to everybody. Short stream here, 15 minutes, but yeah, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. I go live every single day. Thank you. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys again. Enjoy the rest of the day. Remember, find something you're fascinated with, lean into it, and think in decades. Think about where the future is going to be with what you're building, and how it's still going to play a role in that future. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Love you all.